Every year I go through, especially now that my kids are grown and they're successful and they're happy and they have these beautiful lives, and their kids, they don't need it for anything. They don't actually even want for anything. And my own kids certainly don't need or want for anything. And it makes it hard for me because I'm like, I don't have the financial resources to go out there and do something bigger than what they could do for themselves. I just don't. At least not right now. Not saying it couldn't happen one day. But I've never in the past been able to. And now I'm really curious about what I can do to really mark the spirit of this season, because I'm really not a fan of the materialistic way in which we now have, over the last 50 years, really become with our Christmas celebration, our holiday celebration. Even for those of you who don't necessarily have a Christian point of view, still celebrate Christmas, right? Because it is a season for giving. And even those of you who are celebrating Hanukkah or some other holiday, seems to be sort of a worldwide time for celebration and giving. And that's beautiful, except that for some of us, that can trigger a lot of sense of shame and not enoughness, and the desire to go out and try to make things happen beyond our means. And that is not really what Christmas is, or the spirit of giving really needs to be. I'm Melody Brooke. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm a marriage and family therapist. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I'm a filmmaker. I'm an actor. And more than anything, I'm a mom and a grandmom and a friend. And I just want to be able to give my kids and the people I love the best possible Christmas, and that has nothing to do with what I can buy. The first thing that I'm aware of as I talk about this is that for most of us, we have this idea that we have to give more than we really can afford to give. And that somehow that is honorable or valuable to other people when we sacrifice ourselves to our own detriment. Especially as leaders of our families, being the eldest, being the grandmom, I realized that modeling from my family a way of being is a bigger gift than anything financially I could give. And I haven't always been able to give that kind of gift, and I do the best I can, always have. And there are certainly times when I've fallen short. I'm probably falling short right now. However, doing our best to give to ourselves so that we have a resource to give to them with. Does that make sense? So that when we are giving more than we can afford to give, we are actually harming the other person because we put them in a position to feel bad for us. Does that make sense? And, maybe we think that's how we get value somehow. And I know, when you go back to looking at my model and understanding how rescuers get their self-esteem from giving and taking care of others and putting others first, even though that costs you more than you can really afford to give. And that's not ultimately good for the other person, because that makes the other person feel beholden somehow, or think at least that they owe you something somehow for being overgiving and oversharing. But giving yourself the love, the nurturing, the attention, the time that you need, the self-care that you need to be able to have a base from which to give. It's kind of like when you're on the airplane and they say, put the oxygen mask on you first, because if you don't, you're not going to be available really to help the other person. You're not going to be able to connect with really what it is they need unless you're connected with what you need, because we all basically need the same things. The greatest gift that we can give to other people is to love ourselves, putting us in a position where we can love them more wholly. And I know, saying that, I know my whole life I've struggled with that for myself, to be able to feel a deep sense of love for myself. It's something that because of the traumas that I went through and the resulting ways of thinking, I was not giving myself that kind of love. And as a result, I didn't give the kind of love to my family that I wish I'd been able to do. So now that I have this awareness, I want to share it with other people so that you get it, that you understand that you have to give. You need to give to yourself so that you have a base from which to give those that you love, so that your love can be pure and not trying to get something back from them, but from a place of just, I love you, I don't need anything from you because I'm taking care of me. And I want to just give something to you because I want to be with you, because I want to share with you myself. And more than anything, I want to share my love for you from that core of love for myself. That's obviously not an easy gift to give. And this is what I'm hoping for all of you, that you will take the time to explore within yourself what gets in the way, what part of you is blocking that self-love, and ask that part of you to step back and give you permission, at least for a season, to allow in self-love so that you can have it come from a place of grounded love to share with other people. That is the greatest gift that you can give to other people. Isn't that funny? Because I know it's not what we're taught. We are sort of taught to sacrifice and remove ourselves from the equation, not care about ourselves, and put everybody else first. But the truth is, to do that in a way that is grounded and solid and whole and truthful, we have to be in connection with love ourselves so that we have a core of love to give from. I'm Melody Brooke. I'm a licensed professional counselor, marriage and family therapist, and a mom. And the greatest work of my life has been learning to be that love, that grounded place of love to give to my children and the people I love from. Not always done the best job at that, but it has been something I've worked at my entire life, and I will continue to work at so that I can be the presence of love and give that gift to my children. And I see there's some people here with me. See who's here with me today. Hi, Kim. Thanks for coming. And Jeff was here for a moment. So if you know anyone that you think would be helpful for them to hear this message, please share that with them, because I just really want more of us to take those parts of ourselves that are blocking us from being able to show ourselves love and ask them to step back so that we can get more centered in love, and allowing us to share love with more of humanity, starting with ourselves, our family, our friends, our community, and growing out into the world. Because that's what will shift all this insanity of the world that we're living with today. I truly believe it starts with you. Healing you, loving you is the first place to be able to heal the world from. Do your own work. That's what I'm doing my best to do. And Merry Christmas. I will see you guys next week. I will be here again next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do my best to be here close to 4 o'clock as I can every Tuesday. Thanks for being here. And please share this if you think anyone you know would benefit from it. So Merry Christmas. See you next week.